How's it going, everyone? And Happy New Year, or belated New Year. This is Garden Gains. Just want to give you a update video. Um, I will talk about my fig trees that are in here in the mini greenhouse. Speaking of greenhouse, I recently just purchased a similar look to this style, but it is actually about 10 feet by 9 feet and 8 feet high. And the reason for that is obviously um, once you become a plant collector, uh, obviously they start accumulating and accumulating. And so I need to find a location where to put them all, especially now in the winter. My winter hasn't, as of yet, been severe. In fact, we had 2 days of what I call somewhat cold, which I say would be one day was 37 and the next day was 38. And every day after that, it's been in the 40s, low 40s, 42, 43s. We've been getting some rain all this week, and we're expecting some more rain next week. And there's my white zapote. The variety is Subel zapote. Behind that is a mulberry Shangri-La. Over there is the Jaboticaba sabra. Now I have two uh, other Jaboticabas, much larger size, in containers. I've made a video about that if you guys want to check back. It was in the dark, so it was kind of, sort of, not the best quality, but check it out. I'll probably do one soon. That there is a contorted mulberry, very beautiful looking, even when there's no fruit or leaves. Next to that, you can barely see it, but you can see the little green tag. That's my guava. It's called a long giant apple guava. I've never seen a picture of it. I just saw the label. I was kind of like, okay, it's gonna be huge. So about taste, I would have to probably tell you later. This here is my Pakistan mulberry. Um, it's, if you can see, there's a, let me go around. It's about that tall. I'd say about, right there's about maybe 5'8". It was higher, but I cut it down, and you can actually cut these down twice a year because it can get a little out of hand. They're fast growers. That in that white container is a sugar apple, a green version. Got that at Fast Growing Trees. No, I take that back. Plantogram. I really like that company. And so far I have good results from my trees. That there is a black Suriname cherry. The variety is Black Star. I have another one which is about 5 feet tall. I'll show you later on another video. That here is a Pitanga tuba, and it has not been affected by our somewhat cold weather. Kind of joined the spot under the Meyer lemon. It's pretty loaded with lemons. And right up here is the Kohala Longan. Now I should have probably taken these out a long time ago. These are the fruits that probably never going to mature. I should probably take them out just to kind of, incentivize, give it some, more energy in the root system, have it grow. But I'll end up probably snipping off that, as you should. This is my Rio Red grapefruit. That's looking pretty huge. I got a bunch of those. Pretty decent crop. And this is my golden nugget mandarin. Now, I had a bunch of these, but my kids picked them all off. They weren't ready yet. So I let that one pass because they're my kids and I love them. So, anywho, this here is my tomatillo. It did get affected on the day that we had the 37 degree and the 38 degree back to back. So I did manage to put a big plastic bag. I got a good deal on this bag. They were 38 cents. And the reason for that is they're actually the bags that you are specifically for your Christmas tree to put it out on the curb. So they're gigantic bags. So and since obviously the season's over, they had a lot of leftover bags, so I bought it for 38 cents each. And they're like, I mean, I'm not sure how many gallons, but they're pretty huge. And I used that to cover this. So far, I've taken the bag off because we haven't received any small cold snaps. But that one day was just enough to burn these leaves. But other than that, the trunk was not affected. So I'll continue to protect that. For those who don't know, this is a pretty much kind of like a tree tomato called tomatillo or tamari. I'm sorry, I'm thinking about salsa. This is a tamarillo tree. So look it up, guys. I believe these are from the Andes down that way. They grow them well in, I believe, in Ecuador and primarily in Colombia. I actually grown this from seed. A local nursery had one, and the guy gave me the fruit, and he said to save the seeds. And I planted them last year, and as a result of that, I could have gotten bigger than that, but I actually had in 1 gallon for the longest time, procrastinating about planting it. So once I did, it shot off, and I'm sure next year, cross our fingers, it will fruit. This is the result of having a rabbit gnawing on my. This is a long yellow fig tree, but it's green still, so it's gonna grow back. I'm not too worried about that. Since we're here, this is one of the rare figs out in the out there today. This is a Martinenca ramata, and it did fruit, but did not. It did set fruit, but it didn't ripen up enough in time. So I only managed to see the stripes, sort of like a panache, but never seen the part where it changes color, where it's like purple stripes, and so I'll be looking forward to seeing that next year, or this year, excuse me. And this is my Col de Dame Noir. Col de Dame Noir. Now, I would say that this is my best fig, and I'll say that because this the only, I guess, of the figs that I've actually had a chance to taste it, other than that and the Diana. Very high quality fig. So I can't wait for the other rare figs that I have, and like I said, I'll do a review of my fig giving you an up-to-date on how they look. Obviously, they're all without any leaves, so that there over there is my Coldedon ramata. If you don't believe me, I still have one from last season. I'll end up taking that off. Coldedon ramata. All right, so I want to talk to you guys before I jet off. And there'll be, I'm assuming, more than one video about my up-to-dates, but this here is a Grumichama. Now, it's about, from this very top limb, 6 feet tall, 6'1" at the most. Look at the trunk. You can tell it has some age on it. The yeah, so I recently actually moved it into a 5-gallon. It came in a 3-gallon, but I'm sure they did that for because of shipping costs. So Grumichama, and where's the tag? If I can find it. Huh. It's missing. Let's. Oh, seems like the tag's missing. Well, I'm sure that my kids probably did something with these tags, but trust me, this is a Grumichama, and I'm crossing my fingers that this will be fruiting next season, just by the sheer age, size. So, and these are slow growers, so crossing fingers. This is my Alano Sapodilla, and this is kind of the remnants of our winter. I did manage to cover it on the 2 days that were really cold. Other than that, I've been leaving it without the cover, and they're not falling off, but you can tell it's not liking this weather. You know, this fruit is from the southern part of Mexico and Central America, and so it's gonna not like this weather. But my plan is to most likely keep it in this pot, or obviously move it into a bigger pot eventually. This is a 15-gallon, and I don't know. I'm not sure if I want to plant it in the ground, even though we don't receive, frost here as much. I would say maybe a few days out of the year. I'm not sure I want to yet get to that point where I want to plant it. You know, I invested money in these, and well, what I'm trying to say is basically I want to try it out in this pot, keep it in my greenhouse, my new greenhouse that I'll be putting up shortly. Haven't had a chance to do that, so I'll keep you updated on that. This here is another cherry of the Rio Grande. Now this cherry of the Rio Grande is different from the one that I have in previous videos. The reason is different is that the fruits are actually much larger, and I'll post a picture of the size. This is called Big Butte, or I'm assuming Big Beauty. So different cherry of the Rio Grandes vary from size to size. So if you get a good variety that has a bigger size, then, and obviously tastier, sweeter, then you want to go with the best varieties. Let's put it that way. Here is my Jaboticaba. And a 5-gallon. Now it's going to take some time for this to fruit, but it's about maybe close to 5 feet tall. This is my Adamoya Geffner. This is my Chirimoya El Bumpo, looking great. I did manage to pick my only Chirimoya, and the reason I only have one was because my lazy butt didn't pollinate this past season, so and you have to be on it. And family man got me, so spending a lot of time with my kids and my family. So but evidently this Atemoya is self-pollinating, so you still want to pollinate it if you want to get more, but it is self-pollinating from what I've read. And I got some pitayas in the back, and these are my carambolas. Two, one on the left, Kari, the one on the right, unknown. And I got the big one here, Fast Growing Trees, and they didn't seem to know the variety. But this one for sure is a Kari. Said to be sweet. And Suriname cherry. Yep, Suriname cherry. It's in a 5-gallon. I'm sure this is gonna fruit next season. They're fast growers, and this is my holiday avocado. Reason for the holiday name is evidently they're ready to pick by the time all the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. This is my one and only. I mean, literally one. But that's okay. You know, as long as I know it's gonna fruit, definitely next year it's gonna be better. This is considered a semi-dwarf. I think max maybe 14 feet. Next to that is my surprise avocado. Looking kind of droopy. I'm not sure. I'm just not liking the look of it, but I'll give it another year. Maybe, I mean, and this is definitely being treated well, but we'll have to wait and see. Maybe I might have to add more fish fertilizer and some kelp fertilizer just to give it a little added boost. This is my Trovita orange. And over there is my Glen Mango. Mind you, this is not bad considering we're in winter. So I've had to put the bag over this the 2 days that were cold, but other than that, it's been doing great, or it looks great. This here, not sure if I want to plant this in the ground. This is the ice cream banana. I heard that these are pretty tall, and I recently just purchased a dwarf Namwa, which is something that I should have gotten before. You know, with the limited space that I have, I want to get a banana that doesn't overtake my backyard. So that there's a panache. And before I end this video, this is Flanders. Still has the leaves. It's in the ground. Flanders did not produce anything last season. I didn't know what the hell it was. I don't know if it's just, I don't know, maybe it needs more heat. Maybe with everything kind of high intensity up in here. Oh, there's my Bass's favorite. Anywho, I'm thinking about grafting this. Cutting off and putting maybe I-258, maybe Black Madeira. Just, I don't know, maybe have something of different varieties on each one. We'll see. This here is my Barbados cherry. So far so good. I have not covered this at all, even though in those 2 days that were 37, 38. And the reason for that, I believe that the guava, just the fact that it's tucked in this corner with this avocado being here, this guava being over here next to the fence, kind of creates this little pocket of maybe warm or sheltered air. I still have an abundance of guavas. Now, one of the things about the guavas that basically they grow here, they thrive here, but I'm not sure if it's just this variety, since I only have one that's been literally loaded and the other ones are small, that they mature towards the end of the year, fall, winter. But that's if you have heat during that time. I know in Mexico during this time you'll have some cold days, but then you'll have some warm days, warm enough that it will actually ripen on the tree. So what I've been doing so far, I've just been picking them and bringing them in my house, let them ripen in my kitchen. I guess that's something I have to deal with with guavas, just growing them, but picking them and having them ripen kind of like an avocado in your kitchen or whatever. Cherry of the Rio Grande, this is the other version I have. Like I said, I have the small little one over there that I just talked about. This is the one that I've actually made videos of. It was pretty loaded this year, but coming next year it's going to be even more, so looking forward to that. And like all Eugenias, they're pretty tolerant of the cold, up to 20 something degrees, something that it never gets here, so that's why it's thriving. And planted next to that, high density, as we talked about, this is my Mexican cream guava. And I do have a few more guavas. Now, I'm wondering if I should maybe chop this down, keep it at a fence level, and just plant more in the pockets there. Just high density. That one's pretty huge right there, that guava. It was a good year for the clementine or Algerian mandarin. There's probably one left over, but it was just loaded this season, and my kids definitely appreciated that. And this is my moringa. Lost all its flowers, but other than that, not dead. So I'm looking forward to, for that. And it grows pretty fast, so I'm sure it's gonna, by the end of the season, it's gonna be up either at the fence line or even higher. And very nutritious tree. I'm not sure if this is nitrogen fixing, but I don't think it is, but some people have said yes. But it's good to have, because these literally you can do so many things with the leaves, whether to eat them or chop and drop. Anyways, this is my little baby Cara orange. So, sorry, it's a little baby, so it still have more time to grow. With that said, I will talk about my fruit trees in there in my greenhouse, and eventually I'll make another video with when my greenhouse is up. I look forward to that. Anywho, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and give me a like if you definitely enjoyed the video. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good day. Take care.